Hello, children. Welcome to our English class. In the previous class, we had seen that Yumi refused to wash the white man, and Hannah was forced to wash him. Uh, she washes the upper body of the white man, and she did not dare to turn him to give him a complete wash. She was angry with Sadao as he had left her all alone with the white man, and she was forced to do what she did not want to do. What was she forced to do? Cleaning up the white man, because she never wanted to be with this white man or even touch the white man or clean him up. And that's why she asked Yumi to clean the white man. But then the white man, and then there's Yumi, she refuses to do it. Okay, so today we are going to start with page 32, paragraph 3. Okay, that is when Hannah calls out Sadao, and Sadao enters, and he is carrying his surgeon's emergency bag, and he is wearing surgeon's coat. That shows that he is ready for his operation. "You have decided to operate," she cried. So Hannah, she cries out and asks him, "Have you decided to operate on him?" "Yes," he said shortly, but Sadao is serious now. He doesn't want to talk or argue too much. So in a very short message, he conveys that he is going to operate. He turned his back to her and unfolded the sterilized towel upon the floor of the tokonoma alcove, and put his instruments out upon it. So he opens his all sterilized towel, and then opens his bag, surgeon's emergency bag, and takes out all the instruments and just spreads it out. "Fetch towels," he says. So he asks his wife Hannah to fetch some. Fetch means bring some towels. She went obediently, but how anxious now, to the linen shelf and took out the towels. So she, being an obedient wife, she goes to the shelf where these towels were kept. But then she was anxious. She was very anxious now that this move of her husband, that is to save this, to operate this man, might create some problem. And then she took the towels from the shelf. There ought also to be old pieces of matting, so that the blood would not ruin the fine floor covering. So she also wanted to bring some matting. Matting means, you must have seen some those bandages kind of thing that doctors use. Okay, thin linen cloth, thin, very thin, you can see through it. Okay, so she wanted to get that also, so that during the operation, suppose the blood, definitely the blood would ooze out, and she could cover up the blood with this linen, soak the blood with the linen, and then it would not ruin or destroy the floor covering. Okay, the blood would not destroy the floor covering. She went out to the back veranda, where the gardener kept strips of matting with which to protect the delicate shrubs in the cold nights, and took an armful of them. So she went to the back of the veranda, where the gardener used to keep these mattings, and this mattings the gardener used to cover up the plants from the biting cold. Even in Haryana and all, you must have seen people, okay, or your grandmothers and all, this tulsi plant, they cover it with different clothes, or maybe with thin cloth, so that it is protected from the biting cold of winter. Okay, and so that it survives. Okay, a little warmth it gets, and you cannot use those thick ones, because the air circulation won't be there. So she takes a handful of the matting. But when she went back into the room, she saw that this was useless. The body had already soaked through the packing in the man's wound and had ruined the mat under him. So, as soon as she takes the matting and reaches the room, she finds that it was useless picking up the matting and coming to the room, because the blood had already ruined the floor and the mat on which the man was lying, because the blood was continuously coming out of the wound. "Oh, the mat," she cried. "Yes, it is ruined," Sadao replied, as though he did not care. "Help me turn him," he commanded her. So she said, "Oh, my mat, it's ruined." So he says, "Yes, it is." But he is not bothered. Whereas even in houses, the ladies are more bothered about things than men. Okay, so here also she's concerned about the mat. But Sadao is, at this moment, he's not concerned about the mat or something like that. He's concerned about the man's life. So he asks his wife to help him to turn the man the other way. Okay, and she obeyed him without a word, and he began to wash the man's back carefully. So remember, I told you that she had washed only the upper body of the white man. She did not dare to turn him so that the lower body can be washed. So Sadao takes the help of Hana and turns him, and then Sadao cleans up the back portion of this particular man. "Yumi would not wash him," she said. "Did you wash him then?" Sadao asked, not stopping for a moment, his swift, concise moments. So Anna says, Yumi means she is trying to start a conversation, but Sadao is, you can just make out, Sadao is least bit bothered. Okay, so she says, Yumi did not want to wash him. So he asks, "Did you wash him then?" Okay, and while he is talking also, he is not concentrating on the conversation. His hands are swiftly working on the white man. Okay, "Yes," she said. She says, "Yes, I did wash him." He did not seem to hear her, but she was used to his absorption when he was at work. So when she says, "Yes, I did wash him," Sadao shows no expression that he was listening. He was not at all listening to what Hana was saying. Okay, Hana was used to this particular way of Sadao when he is working. He is totally into the work. He's absorbed in the work. So he doesn't care about what is going around him. Okay, so he doesn't listen to what his wife is saying. She wondered for a moment if it mattered to him what was the body upon which he worked so long, as it was for the work he did so excellently. So she wondered whether he was bothered about, whether he even imagined or thought about the body on which he was working. He was working means he was conducting his surgery. Okay, and surgery was, he was very much skilled in just opening up the body of human beings and clearing out all the problems and bringing the person back to life. He was excellent at it. Okay, so she was just wondering whether this person was really, Sadao was really bothered about the body, that this man was his enemy and enemy of the country or not, whether he was bothered about it or not. "You will have to give him anesthetics if he needs it," he said. Now this was another thing, anesthetics. I hope you know there are two kinds of anesthetics. One is general and one is local. Okay, can you just, I hope you all know where general is given and where the local is given. Local anesthetics are generally given when you have your teeth plucked out. That is, only that area will be numbed. Okay, whereas general anesthetics would be given when open heart surgeries or things like that happen, which needs your whole body to be numb. Okay, so here he says that as he is going to operate on this man, they don't have all the equipments. Okay, so he asks his wife to give him anesthetics, but then Giving anesthetics, a doctor has to be very sure about many things. One, his medical history, whether the person is diabetic, heart patient, high pressure, all these things the doctor should be aware about. And the amount of anesthetics to be given to the person, it differs from person to person. Okay, so for some people, small amount, it's more than enough. For some, even if you give a big amount, sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, it depends. So everything, the doctor must be very much sure about the amount of anesthetic. And here, Sadao is asking Hannah to give the anesthetics, whereas Hannah has never done anything of that sort. She has never seen an operation being done. Okay, so for Hannah, it was something very shocking. I? She repeated blankly. But never have I. So she says, Are you asking me to give the anesthetic? But I have never given an anesthetics to anyone. It is easy enough, he said impatiently. Now see, for a doctor it might be very easy. Okay, like teachers generally tell you, this is very simple and easy. For teachers it might be easy, but for you it would be difficult. So here the same concept is coming up. Okay, for him it's very easy, things are very easy, but for a person who is doing it for the first time, that person would be totally confused and it would be a big deal for that person. He was taking out the packing now. Packing? Which packing? The packing that he had placed on top of the wound. The packing of the sea moss, remember? Yes. So he was taking out the packing and the blood began to flow more quickly. Okay, so as the packing was being taken out, the blood started oozing out or flowing out more rapidly in great speed. He peered into the wound with the bright surgeon's light fastened to his forehead. So, surgeon's light means there is a torch kind of thing, and he tied it to his head so that he can see the operation properly, the wound and everything clearly. And he just peered through means he just peeped, he just went through the wound properly. Okay, the bullet is still there, he said with cool interest. Now I wonder how deep the rock wound is. If it is not too deep, it may be that I can get the bullet, but the blood is not superficial. He has lost much blood. So he is talking to himself. Yes, that the bullet is still there, and he says now the next thing that I need to concentrate on is whether the rock has deepened the wound or not. That is another thing that he needs to concentrate on. And if the wound is not that deep, he could take out the bullet. But then he says he has lost a lot of blood. That shows that the wound is not superficial. Superficial means it's not on the surface, it's deep. Okay, so that is the reason why he has lost a lot of blood. Okay, children, we'll stop here. Next class, we'll continue with it. Thank you. Have a great day.